The episode opens by introducing Ken Usato. Usato is an ugly, disgusting loser
like one of you guys.
Watching this, an ordinary high school student with a simple and peaceful life. Unlike the students around him, he doesn't have any special talents or big ambitions. To everyone else, he's just another normal teenager. After school, Usato realizes he forgot his umbrella. As he wonders how he's going to get home in the rain, he runs into two students from his school, Kazuki Rusen and Suzune Inukami. Since they are all heading in the same direction, the three decide to walk home together. As they chat and make their way through the rainy streets, everything seems perfectly normal. None of them realize that their lives are about to change forever. Without any warning, a glowing magic circle suddenly appears beneath their feet. Before they can even react, a powerful light surrounds them and pulls them into the air. Within seconds, the three students disappear from their world. When the light fades, they find themselves inside a magnificent royal palace. The room is filled with knights, nobles, and servants who immediately bow before them. Confused and frightened, the three students try to understand what is happening. The king welcomes them and explains that they have been summoned to another world. According to him, the kingdom is preparing for a war against the Demon Lord's army, and they desperately need heroes to protect their people. The king reveals that Kazuki and Suzune are the heroes the kingdom intended to summon. Their powerful magical abilities make them the perfect candidates for the task ahead. Usato is surprised when he hears this. He quickly realizes that he wasn't supposed to be part of the summoning at all. He was simply standing next to the two heroes when the spell activated, causing him to be brought along by accident. The king sincerely apologizes for the mistake. Unfortunately, he explains that there is currently no known way to return Usato to his original world. For now, he has no choice but to remain in the kingdom. To better understand their abilities, each of the three students is asked to undergo a magical aptitude test. Kazuki's results confirm that he possesses powerful lightning magic. Suzune also demonstrates exceptional magical talent, proving why both of them were chosen as heroes. When it is finally Usato's turn, everyone expects him to have little or no magical ability because he was summoned by accident. Instead, the test reveals something completely unexpected. Usato possesses healing magic, one of the rarest forms of magic in the entire kingdom. The people in the room immediately begin whispering among themselves. Even the king is surprised by the result. At first, Usato doesn't understand why everyone is making such a big deal about it. He assumes healing magic is only useful for treating injuries after battles. However, someone else sees much greater potential. The news quickly reaches Rose, the captain of the kingdom's rescue squad. Rose is feared throughout the kingdom because of her overwhelming strength and brutal training methods. Even experienced soldiers become nervous whenever she appears. Moments later, Rose enters the room with complete confidence. She barely pays attention to anyone else as she walks directly toward Usato. After confirming that he truly possesses healing magic, she immediately announces that he will become a member of the rescue squad. Usato is completely shocked by the sudden decision. Before he can protest or ask any questions, Rose grabs him by the arm and drags him out of the palace. Kazuki and Suzune can only watch as their new friend is taken away. Even though they want to help him, they know there is nothing they can do. As Rose pulls him toward the rescue squad's training grounds, Usato realizes that his peaceful days are over. He has no idea what kind of training awaits him, but one thing is certain: his new life in this world is only just beginning. The episode ends by teasing the intense challenges that lie ahead, setting the stage for Usato's harsh journey to master healing magic.
Episode 2 picks up the morning after. Usato is dragged into the rescue team by the terrifying Captain Rose. As he wakes up, the reality of being summoned to another world finally begins to sink in. Before training starts, Rose hands him a notebook and tells him to keep a daily journal of everything he learns. Although he doesn't understand why at first, he accepts it and prepares himself for what lies ahead. Rose wastes no time beginning his training. Instead of teaching him healing spells or magical techniques, she tells Usato to focus on sensing the healing magic inside his own body. Once she is satisfied that he can feel his magic, she gives him a simple order: run until his legs can no longer move. At first, Usato thinks the training doesn't seem too bad. Running is much easier than he expected, and he even believes Rose may have been exaggerating. But before long, the pace increases, the distance becomes longer, and his body begins to give out. Just as he reaches his limit, Rose heals him completely and orders him to keep running. Every time he collapses from exhaustion, She restores his body and sends him right back onto the track. The cycle repeats day after day. Usato quickly realizes Rose isn't trying to make him stronger with ordinary exercise. She's forcing his body to adapt by pushing it beyond its limits, then using healing magic to let him continue training. Eventually, his own healing magic begins activating on its own, allowing him to recover faster and keep going without depending entirely on Rose. Little by little, his stamina, strength, and endurance begin to improve. Outside of training, Rose also gives Usato a history book about the Kingdom of Linger. To his surprise, even though he's in another world, he can read the language perfectly. As he studies the kingdom's past and continues writing in his journal, he slowly starts settling into his new life. Nearly 2 weeks pass, and Rose finally explains the real purpose behind her brutal training. On a battlefield, rescue mages must reach wounded soldiers before it's too late. That means they need enough speed and endurance to outrun enemies, carry injured allies to safety, and continue fighting even when completely exhausted. Healing magic alone isn't enough. Rescue mage must also have the body to support it. For the first time, Usato begins to understand why Rose has been so relentless. Later, Kazuki and Suzunen come to visit Usato to see how he's doing. They expect to find him struggling, but instead they're shocked by what they see. Usato is casually doing push-ups with a massive block of concrete on his back, while Rose is standing on top of it. The sight leaves both of them speechless, and they realize his training is far more intense than anything they've experienced. Princess Celia joins them for lunch and is equally surprised by how much Usato has changed in such a short time. His body has become noticeably stronger, and although he's constantly exhausted, he hasn't lost his determination. Rose proudly tells everyone that she's training Usato to become her right-hand man, making it clear that she sees great potential in him despite her harsh methods. Just when Usato thinks he might finally get a chance to rest, Rose announces the next stage of his training. She takes him outside the kingdom to the dangerous forest known as the Darkness of Linger. Standing at the edge of a cliff overlooking the forest, Rose gives him one simple mission: don't come back until you've defeated a grand grizzly. Before Usato can even protest, Rose grabs him and throws him straight off the cliff into the forest below. As he falls, he screams in terror, realizing that his training has entered a completely new stage.